listeners, welcome to another great podcast session. I'm Shivani Muthyala. With the pandemic's hit, people have shifted towards digital modes of payment methods, and especially which are very convenient, easy, fast, and safe to make transactions, right? Everyone started looking for digital platforms which can accommodate all under one roof, whether it be for domestic money transfer, prepaid cards, insurance, recharge, bill payments, and many more. This is how digitalization has changed the whole of the payment industry, and also how we also started, to manage our finances too. So to elaborate on this front, we have Amit Nigam, who is a CEO and COO at BANKIT. So let's quickly welcome our speaker for the day. Hi Amit, how are you doing?
Hi Shivani, I'm good. Thanks. And how about you?
I'm good too, thank you. Pleasure to have you here on Analytics Inside podcast.
Pleasure here as well, Shivani.
So, before we dive deep into the topic, could you tell our listeners what BANKIT is all about?
Well, Shivani, BANKIT, in BANKIT, we majorly focus on the fintech industry, and people in India are really unbanked, and we are not able to reach out to the last mile because of the lack of banking infrastructure, wherein the company like BANKIT comes into play, where we take the services to the last mile in terms of various financial needs and banking and financial services. For example, we focus on money remittances, which constitutes a major part of the country because there are a lot of migrant laborers who are migrating to big towns for their work to earn their livelihood, and they have to send back the money. Then we have enabled our network through Aadhaar enabled payment system, wherein a cash out can happen. So these kind of services clubbed with mobile recharges, DTH recharges, utility bill payments, micro loans, collateral free loans, and etc. etc. So what we feel is that because of the lack of banking infrastructure in the country, these are the basic need where people either they have to forego their 1 day wage to go to the bank and then stand in a queue, or because of the low financial literacy levels, they face a lot of hurdles. So we in a way can say that BANKIT helps to take the banking to the last mile and banking at home. So these are the various services which we focus, and the best part about it is that we are very choosy and selective where to go and where not to go. So we do a lot of research before we appoint our agents and we establish our network over there. So it is not like a rat race where we say that we have so many outlets, but actually when you do a lot of research, you find that they are majorly into the urban cities of the country. We focus in tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 cities.
Great. Happy to know about BANKIT. Could you also tell us about, what are BANKIT's uniques, or, some of the very, very important products?
Yeah. So, Shivani, as I said, that the best part, the uniqueness of the company is that we focus into the tier 3 and tier 4 and tier 5 cities. You move out of any metro city 4 to 5 kilometers away from the city, you find that there is a absolute lack of banking infrastructure. You hardly find ATMs, you hardly find any bank branches. So the luxury that we people enjoy in staying in places like Delhi, Bombay, it is absolutely a very, very pathetic situation when you actually move out of the city 10, 15 kilometers away. So how do these guys do banking? So we have done a very, very big research on the demographics of the country, and we have plotted the block-wise approach where we say that we need to be present in almost all the blocks. For example, you see that we in UP, to give you an example, we are present in almost all the districts of UP. So that is the way we cover the rural part of the country, and they are totally aligned with the Government of India vision of digitization of the services. So this is one unique thing about BANKIT. Second is that we feel that because of the pandemic now getting over, people are going back to their work, and again the remittance business is increasing. So we focus on remittance and also on the cash out services, because there are two basic needs as far as the money is concerned. Either you have to send back the money home, or you need to take out the cash. Still, there's a huge population in the country who are cash lovers, and still I would say that despite all the efforts by the government of India, cash is still the king. There's a huge amount of in trillions the cash is rolling in the country as we speak. So how to cater to that problem? So cash in and cash out services are the biggest services which BANKIT focuses. Apart from this, we found out that people are in need of small working capital loans. Now, for example, today I am a shopkeeper and I need to buy one laptop to increase my business. Where do I get the money from to the tune of 50,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees? If I go to a bank, I am not qualified, so bank will not give me a loan. And it's a very, very cumbersome process where we come into play and we give them a collateral free loan in just 5 minutes. So it is all online, no human touch. He applies and he gets a collateral free loan, which he has a freedom to repay in 3 months time, 6 months time, daily EMI, weekly EMI, fortnightly EMI. So we make our product very, very flexible as per the need of the people who are actual users.
BANKIT services are really very interesting, whether it be the block-wise approach or remittance or cash out services or the collateral-free loans. So very interesting. So being a CEO and COO of the company, what key responsibilities do you hold?
See, to run an organization and into this sector, first of all, we feel very proud that we cater to the basic need of the country. We are helping. The cause of the company itself gives us a very, very confident feeling, and makes us proud that we are not into fancy products, but rather we are into the services which is actually required at the last mile. So this is one. And second, what I see that if we actually through serious efforts and through commitment, we are able to reach to the maximum geographies of the country, it will really make a lot of sense, and it will really help all the people who are really deprived of the banking and financial services at the moment. For example, if I talk about J&K and Ladakh, now nobody is there, and because of the various reasons, you see that the entire infrastructure, not only banking and finances, but the other infrastructures are also in a very, very dire straits. So we are planning to actually go there and serve these people as far as the banking and financial services are concerned. So I see a lot of future in this industry, at least for a minimum of 20 years. And I see that because of the pandemic, people have started understanding the digital transaction. And thanks to the government of India, who has actually advertised so much, so people have understood, which otherwise would have taken a lot of time, to make them understand. So this is what I feel is very, very important as far as running the organization is concerned, that we really reach to the last mile as much as possible and provide various other services with a lot of innovations, with a lot of technology support, and not only cash in, cash out and loans, but other services like mutual funds, medical insurances, life insurances, and whatever there is in the basket of BFSI.
Sounds interesting. As you also spoke about the pandemic, it has really changed many things, especially across industries. As part of it, we all have been shifting towards the digital payments, right? So how do you see this shift? How is this going to benefit the digital payment industry, do you think?
Shivani, it's a very, very good question. And a lot of findings have come out during last 1.5 years, 2 years, when we were in the pandemic period. People have really learned about the digital mode of payments. In every shop, wherever you used to go, or a restaurant, and there was a contactless payment, and people who were not aware of these things were forced to transact through that mean, because there was no other alternative available. So I think that this has fastened up the the learning curve, and people have understood pretty fast. And because of that, you see a surge in the digital transactions. So this was a very big challenge for the companies like us to educate people at the last mile, how to use digital payments. So pandemic has helped us, to educate people to go digital, do away from cash, and do your banking through your mobile or through your laptop or machine, whatever. So I think that's the biggest trend we have seen. Also, uh, the pandemic has really shown us that um, the ease of transaction. People found out that instead of going to a bank branch, it is very easy to go in for an assisted model where we come into play, to go to a local kirana shop and do their banking and financial transactions. So this has happened during these 2 years. Otherwise, which have would have taken 5 years or 6 years or 7 years to go to that level of education. So I think it was some way or the other a blessing in disguise as far as the digital payment is concerned. It has really helped us. And now, since the pandemic is about to go, and I wish it should now leave us, so people are doing more and more digital transaction, and more and more eager to learn more about the transactions and how they can make their life easier, rather than going to a bank branch or going to any other middle person to get their things done.
Very rightly pointed out, Amit, regarding the cashless payments and the ease of transactions that we all are experiencing this day. So, in the same context, how did Bankit grow during the pandemic?
So Shivani, as I said that because people were more inclined to learn about the digital payments, and it was actually a forced affair also, because people who went back to their homes and hometown, and they were really not able to, it was very difficult for them to earn their livelihood, because people from Bihar, UP used to go to Bombay, Delhi to work. Now, because of the pandemic, they came back, and from where they will earn their livelihood. So, it was a forced affair for the people to, go digital and start the entrepreneurship. And because of that, we grew around 3x during the pandemic period, and we onboarded around 50,000 agents who were, just a pull factor which was there in the market. And we used to get a lot of application where the people asked, that they want to become the entrepreneur, and they want to have these kind of services at their hometown and serve the vicinity where they used to live. So that was a very, very big thing which we saw, that people who used to go to Delhi, Mumbai to work, now they could sustain themselves in their hometown, just by taking their our agencies and our technology to serve the vicinity where the population is around 5,000 or 10,000 odd, and they became the bank for that particular area or a village. So it was a very, very remarkable visible growth which we could see, that fintech industry grew during the pandemic time. I would say it was a COVID-free industry. It is.
Very rightly said. And yes, indeed, it is a very positive growth that everybody is witnessing, and especially the payment sector. So, what kind of innovative payment solutions are expected, in the near future? Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah. So Shivani, see, the point is, it's a stage-wise thing, if you ask me. So the first stage was to make people understand the simplest way of doing a transaction with the minimum clicks. Now as people have understood and they are ready to take off, Now there is a lot of innovation which will come into play, and we are working on a lot of innovative things. We are using artificial, machine learning and artificial intelligence. So those kind of things are coming into play where there is, the people are doing a transaction, and in case of any um, problem during the transaction, they may feel or they may see, the machines come into play, and they, machine immediately rectifies the problem and they'll give them the update. So these kind of things are very important. For example, today, if I do a transaction of 1,000 rupees and if the transaction gets failed, and if I'm not aware where is my transaction, where is my money, so it clears, it very clearly, confuses you, and the trust factor, goes for a toss. So wherein we are putting in a lot of machine and artificial learning, that people are totally aware second by second that what is the stage of the transaction, is their money safe, is money got transferred, is the transaction cycle complete. So I think a lot of innovation is being put into the system, and now people are quite adaptive also, and they understand these things, and things have become very, very easier. I think the technology will drive the future of this industry.
Amazing. As you also spoke about technology, it has been the foremost these days, and it is also becoming a vital factor to be leveraged. Especially when it comes to banking or any big industries. So how is Bankit, being a digital platform, leveraging tech trends such as artificial intelligence, as you just spoke about, and cloud and analytics to redefine the payment ecosystem and at the same time adding value to its clients?
Yeah. So see, the basic two, three things are required in this industry. First of all, it's a financial transaction. It has to be safe, and it has to be totally, you have to build trust and confidence in the system and in the people and the end user. Suppose today I do 10 transactions and my 5 transaction gets failed, I will lose trust in that organization. So how do you manage that? So the technology comes into play. So we use a latest technology wherein we have a uptime and the success rate of 99%. And also tomorrow, if there's a surge because of the festive season or any other reason, or the DBT is coming from the government, we have an automatic scale of the capacity. So we don't, our system doesn't get choked over there. So it's an automatic process that it can increase the capacity on its own. So those kind of things have been done at the back end. And we also, try to see that how the resolutions happens as fast as possible. Today, if I have some problem with a particular transaction, what is the tat of, clearing that transaction? Sooner the better. Today, like most of the e-commerce company, if you do a transaction, you get a refund in say about 2 hours time or 3 hours time. So it creates trust. So all those things are happening because of the technology, nothing else. So how robust is your technology? How flexible is your technology? How people who are managing the show are skilled? So I think these things matters a lot. And there we have put in a lot of efforts and focus and money to build that kind of a technology. So we don't feel in a very, very large scale of a business. We feel that we should be present where it is required, and we should have a technology which supports that cause. So even if we are present at the places where the services are required and the technology doesn't support it, I think then it is useless. So it is, it goes hand in hand. The technology and the presence has to be very, very well defined, researched, and very, very clear cut focus where you have to provide the services.
Amazing. It is really amazing to hear how Bankit is actually leveraging all the tech trends, at the same time adding value to its clients. So, as most of the companies are focusing on developing the country in the post-pandemic times to revive the economy faster, at the same time contribute to the society, how is Bankit adding value to the society?
Shivani, I think the cause of the fintech industry is in itself is a very, very, big revolution, as far as the people of the rural India are concerned. Our country comprises of maximum 90% population is a rural and agriculture population. So these are the people who are deprived of the various services. And as I said earlier, that we don't believe in serving the urban cities where the infrastructure is still there. We don't feel that kind of a pain to go and use banking services. And also because of the literacy level which we have, we can do a transaction through our own mobile phone. But what about the people, which is maximum in the country, who are really dependent, who need assisted model, who need assistance to do a transaction? So I think that is where we come into play, and we are upgrading the society, and we are upgrading the know-how, and making people transact and know business. Today, as we speak, people are aware at that level that what is mutual fund, what is insurance, what is medical insurance, what is the value of it, and what is the importance of it. So I think these kind of deep down penetration into the tier 4 and tier 5 cities, we were amazed to go to the villages where people are not having electricity today as well. How do you expect them to do a financial transaction? So I think if we are able to ignite that kind of a trend, and also to adopt the villages wherein we make it a cashless village, which we do, I think that's the real serving to the society, and uplifting the society. I think mm, this speaks all about it.
Very rightly pointed out. It is indeed very much, mandatory to for the country to grow. And every new day comes new trends in the market, right? So, what are the new trends you are looking in this festival season as festivals are, approaching?
Yeah, so this is a very good question, Shivani. As I said, it is all interlinked. The people now are now more literate. They are now more savvy to the digital transaction at tier 3 and tier 4 level. The demand is also increasing side by side. Now people also wanting to, have uh, e-commerce services at their doorstep, which earlier it was not the scene, and most of the e-commerce companies are not able to deliver to that level. So they have created a hub and spoke kind of a model. Now people want these kind of services to be delivered at their homestead, uh, quite at the doorstep. Now also people are wanting cash at home. Now today, the way I order online food and I get it delivered, people are wanting to order cash. I need 2,000 rupees, and in 15 minutes time somebody rings the bell and delivers the cash. Cash is always required, because small petty things you buy through a vegetable vendor or not, they need cash. Sometimes they don't have the facility to accept cash through digital payments. This I see in the places like Delhi and NCR. So what about those small places? So these are the challenges which we see, that which are creating a new trend. So today, if I, cash at home kind of a thing is emerging out, it's a new trend. Tomorrow, people say that I want to go in for a mutual fund. I want to know about it, and I want to have mutual fund into my portfolio. It is also a new trend, because till such time, tier 3, tier 4 city were not even aware what mutual fund is. Tomorrow, somebody is asking for loan, collateral free loan, or a medical insurance. I think these kind of things are coming in a very, very big way, and they are. And the best part, Shivani, to tell you, is that these kind of demands are coming from tier 3 and tier 4 cities. It is quite obvious that it comes from the urban cities, but the kind of demand, the kind of new things people are asking for is amazing from the tier 3, tier 4. And this clearly states that people have, the society has got lifted up, and there is a literacy level which has come up, and the exposure level is tremendous. So coming into the festival seasons now, people are wanting to, send gifts to their near and dear ones, send money, gift cards, so all those kind of stuff comes into play. Now people want a digital cash, wherein we as a Bankit, as a company, have our own prepaid cards, which we load it and send it, and it can be gifted to anybody. Now this is in the form of a plastic, or in the form of a electronic card which rests on your mobile. So I think these are the new trends which are coming in a big way.
Perfect. So, the cash delivery is really quite innovative. And when coming to the digital cash and the rewards, it is also quite very, very interesting. So, could you also tell about your recent launch on the business card unit?
Yeah, so we launched our business card unit, and we found out that the few sectors like MSME and other small Soho kind of a thing, where small office, home office, these are the people who are a little bit deprived of the technology, and they need a lot of blue collar workers where the money has to be sent to their bank account. But fortunately or unfortunately, the bank accounts doesn't get open because they don't have a local address proof and all those kind of stuff. So KYC becomes a real challenge. So where we come into play, and we provide a prepaid card where the money can be loaded, and they can transact through that card over any merchant location on POS. They can take out money through any ATM, and they can transfer money through that card through using a simple mobile app. So this is a new thing which we have developed for the segments. We are also focusing on the cashless campuses across various segments, and majorly with the focus into the MSME segment.
This is very helpful for MSMEs, to grow and contribute to the country as well. So, and lastly, how do you see the future of the, company in the next coming 5 years?
Well, it is a absolute desire for everybody, at that level to grow the company many folds, and at the same time to reach out to as many geographies as possible. The more we are spread, the more we feel confident about it, and we feel that at least we should be covering out of 5 to 6 lakh villages in the country, at least 80 to 90% we should be able to cover these villages and provide our banking and financial services. And once we are able to do that, I think the growth of the company is incidental. So our real focus is to cover maximum villages and MSME sector and various other sectors, and also to focus on in the inward remittance from abroad, wherein there's also a very big pain area. So I think if these 3, 4, 5 key areas of the companies which we are driving is fulfilled, I think we are home.
Wishing BANKIT the best, and thank you so much, Amit. It was really a pleasure talking to you and learning about BANKIT. Waiting to see even more innovative services coming up from your end.
Thank you, Shivani. Thanks a lot for giving this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So with this, we wind up our podcast for today. Stay tuned to Analytics Insight for more such interesting podcasts.